Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy to be here again. So it's an honor to be invited again to present our technology solutions. For those that were here last year, we had the opportunity to, I would say, present, and some people have already referred to posted workers, our posted worker solutions tool, where we have a tool that does automated assessments and automated filings in all of the European jurisdictions. So we know that it's very complex, but what we try to do as a company is help our clients, our companies navigate all the complexities that we see in Europe to have effective and fair mobility, which is the objective of ELA. So with you today, I mean, we keep it short as well, the three of us. You find our names in the presentation. For all of, for those that do not know FRAGOMEN, very short, FRAGOMEN is a world-leading global law firm, okay, specialized in migration. So we help on a daily basis companies, mainly multinationals, but also small and medium-sized companies in workforce planning, so helping them to have, to attract talent from abroad or have their resources cross borders. So we help them with all the requirements to ensure compliance when you have people crossing borders. Now, we are active in more than 170 jurisdictions and in all the European jurisdictions. And very important for today is to highlight that we, and the three of us are part of that, we have set up FRAGOMEN Consulting Europe. And what it does is that we really focus on what do companies need for being compliant in Europe. So we develop products, we develop services, and also technologies, and it was already been said, you have about 10 million moves in the EU, and you even don't think about all the moves from third country nationals into the EU. So what our company is looking for is for a scalable compliance solution, okay, and that brings the speed on the ground because you don't want to wait till where not needed to have the individual work ready in a certain country. So, and we do not only focus in that sense, we take a comprehensive approach when it comes to compliance. We do not only look at immigration, but all aspects linked to work readiness, including social security and posted workers. So, yeah, let me now give the word to Wim to say a bit about our vision and our objectives before we come to the real IT expert, because we are the technical experts, but we are here with our real IT expert, which is Marc.
Thanks very much, Jo. Our technology vision in FRAGOMEN, Jo has already mentioned it. Because of the companies that come to us asking, having a lot of needs, speed to ground, they want to deploy resources in a very quick and efficient way. We have developed already a posted worker solutions tool with robotic automation. So automatic filing of posted worker notifications in all of Europe, in all of the European member states. But we know that that is not sufficient. Our vision is actually go into generative AI, so artificial intelligence, to deliver even a more superior experience, so a superior labor mobility experience, improve processes, operational efficiencies, and to drive the user experience. All of the companies that we assist talk about what is important to them is quick deployment of resources, be compliant, and the user experience of their employees or of the HR personnel that deals with the mobility within a company. What are our main objectives with this presentation and with our AI newest baby that we have developed? First of all, it's partnering with the EU, with the EU institutions, with ELA in particular. The thought leadership in the market that we have, especially on immigration, but also on posted worker notifications and social security compliance, has allowed us to to have and obtain an enormous amount of data that could be useful, we believe, also for the institutions in Europe, so for ELA. Another important objective is the user experience, as I already mentioned, and I believe it was Xiang this morning mentioning also communication. Companies want to have a clear communication. Rules are very, very complex. Posted worker notifications, there are so, I gave a presentation at the European Law Academy about all of the challenges that posted worker notifications and companies that have to make posted worker notifications in Europe are facing. It's incredibly complex. They want clear, simple, and in simple language, answers from us. So communication is clear, and we want to enhance that user experience. And the last objective is compliance, ensure compliance. Companies that come to FRAGOMEN, they want to be compliant. They want that their workforce is fully compliant with the rules. They also sometimes ask us about risk, but that is because there is lack of clarity or lack of simplification, lack of transparency of the rules, but they always ask us, we need to deploy personnel in a very quick way. You can't imagine how many requests we receive on a Friday afternoon because an individual worker has to be present on Monday morning from Brussels in Madrid. They need the posted worker notifications, they need it fast, they need it to have it processed in an automated way, but they want to be compliant. And so compliance is key. Of course, there's the whole maintenance that also our predecessor here, our previous speaker, has talked about. Maintenance of the legal knowledge that we have in our system is key. So we have an absolute maintenance, robust maintenance program. But let's move into the video that we have prepared and the artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Maybe one quick thing, because this morning it was said that you can't have AI without quality data. And this is the core what we have. We have a very robust library with critical knowledge on posted worker, social security, immigration, but not only about what do we find on government websites in terms of legislation, but how is that implemented, okay? How does it apply to individual going from country A to country B with this employment contract? So what we have is having that critical knowledge. We translate this on a daily basis to every single circumstance that we have. And that is what we now have, I would say, put in the AI. Please, Mark.
Cheers, yeah. So I'll just very quickly run through these. So a lot of these may be, the terminology may be very familiar to you guys. The prompt engineering, obviously a critical part of the Gen AI model. This really sets the tone and almost gives the persona of the person of the conversation. So in our world, it'll be the immigration consultant or practitioner. This is where we can sort of set the rules. You know, don't respond in more, or limit your response to not more than 3 sentences. It's the sort of setting the tone of that. In the prompt engineering as well, and it's more of an art than a science, but we stuff into that the actual knowledge from the FRAGOMEN knowledge library. The chat conversation allows us to leverage off the historical components of the chat. So, for example, I'm an Australian national going to France. What do I need? It'll give me an answer, which hopefully I'll get to now. But I can then say, well, what if I want to go to Belgium? Now it's leveraging off the actual chat that's come back. Flexible architecture, and this is all of our own solution. The flexible architecture. When we built all of this, it was all according to the RAG standard. So it allows us to leverage off the LLMs with our own knowledge. Security and privacy, obviously critical because we are a law firm. We actually ingest a lot of knowledge sources, PDFs, Word documents, etc. The speed to market, we haven't developed our own LLM. The way that we've done it is we leverage off our knowledge, but we'd rather use the best and greatest LLMs that are out there. And obviously, from an architecture perspective, it's all in the cloud. Just very quickly, just diagrammatically, just to sort of show you there. I don't know how many of you actually know how the AI stuff works. But really what we do is we convert the knowledge into, there's a process called embedding, which is really a vector representation, which is just multi-dimensional arrays of numbers, which each refer to certain attributes in the data. And we can go into it much later if you've got questions on that. And we store all of this in our in our vector storage. So what happens is when somebody asks a question, it actually converts the question to a vector, and based upon all the knowledge being stored in a vector format, it has the ability very quickly to index large amounts of data, return that back again, back to the AI orchestrator, that it throws at the LLM, and then basically you get the contextual output of what you're doing. So this is all of our own stuff here. So we've got some videos here. This is actually, and how does it play? I don't know how you play the embedded video.
There it is.
Oh, is it going?
Yeah. I think so.
Ah, okay. Hopefully you can see some of those. But this is against our own knowledge. And so what we've done is we're obviously very concerned from a law firm perspective that we don't get the hallucination effect. So we're always only hitting our own data, right? We just got a couple in here where we're just asking simple questions of it. You'll see the responses coming back. And again, it's, you know, in the old, 20 years ago, we would have done try to do everything in sort of and, if, or logic, but it's become so complicated in terms of the mobility spectrum that the Gen AI is actually giving us the types of results that we want. And this actually forms an integral part of our broader workflow where we objectifies the outputs coming from the response so that we can actually instantiate workflow. So I can't see it from here, I don't have my glasses on, but for example, if there is the, I can see there the posted worker notification and A1 certificate of coverage. If the individual wants to go forward with that, we actually know that that's a product that the firm sells, right? Is that one finished? No, okay. The next video, when it does come on, is we've actually got, and apologies for the speed that it's going through it. The next video that we've actually got here is the actual interactive chat. And that's what I was talking about, the way that it leverages off the discussion as opposed to having to reframe the question. You don't have to reframe the question. I think it's, all right, let's go to the next one. There we go, this one will whiz through here. I hope. Oh, hold on. Oh, is it coming? No.
Can you see the bar under it?
No, that's not actually playing it. Oh, there we go.
There you go. You click on start. There.
No, this is not cool.
Yeah. So basically so the second example or case scenario is about a US national based in Germany needs to go to work to France. What do I need? So asking the chatbot basically what their needs are in terms of immigration or posted worker and social security. And the chatbot comes back with the answer. So first it says, from an immigration perspective, what is needed, that they can go to provide services under the Van der Elst rules, and they may not need a work permit. Then it gives also the answer on the posted worker notification. To work in France, you will need a posted worker notification. There is an additional question then that the individual traveler and worker asks, what do I need for a posted worker notification? The chatbot again gives the full answer for a posted worker notification in France, because it's different in every country. And then it also, the worker can also ask, I need an A1, what do I need to do? And then again, the chatbot gives the answer for an A1. Of course, it refers also to further advice as well, because there are a lot of conditions to be entitled to, for example, an A1 certificate. There need to be conditions to be fulfilled, or previous insurance coverage, and so on and so on. But the chatbot then refers also to more a consultant that can advise afterwards.
So I see that we are over time. I hope we still have 1 minute to the conclusion. So one slide that we wanted to see a little bit, we see that there are a lot of synergies between what we are doing, what we are developing, and in the end, what are the EU objectives, the ELA objectives in terms of fair and effective mobility. I mean, it was Robert referring earlier today about, for example, the development of the EU talent pool, okay, the matching platform between third country national talents and the open vacancies in Europe. It's clear that when you look at what the European Commission would like to achieve as well is that they want to make sure that those third country nationals immediately see, is there an ability for me to actually work, for example, in France? Is there a legal pathway? How long does it take? What type of work permit? So this is where, for example, we can leverage, again, all our knowledge to make sure that EU talent pool provides the necessary information to those third country nationals. We also know, we all have seen the EU portal, immigration portal, or your rights. When you look at it, I mean, what you notice, it provides real good information on member states' policies, on immigration, obligations to work in another member state, but it lacks the practical implementation. How does this apply to me in my situation? So this is everything, where we could potentially, support when building out the EU objectives.
Just to finish off, but we have already mentioned it, there is also the ELA initiative with the web tool. So I believe that our chatbot is an example of how we could cooperate with ELA to bring all of the labor mobility, global labor mobility information that we have in our knowledge and data. And then the Posting 360 program of ELA, very important as well. Our vast experience with the automated assessments and RPA filing can help also enhance the guidance, the posting guides, for example. There's a lot of information, additional questions that company ask us. They go through the posting guide, but they still don't find all of the answers to their questions. And so based on all of the experience that we have in the European member states, that could help also to improve the guidance that we provide to companies for the posting of workers. But with that, thank you very much for our presentation. Apologies for having taken a little bit more time.